Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Jeff and I'm an occupational therapist who practices in the United States, and I work in the hospital often with patients who have had a stroke. And today I want to go over some beginner exercises for patients who want to do them in bed. And these are beginner as they do not require, of course, getting out of bed, but also they work on kind of like the motions and exercises and stretches that you can do that do not take an enormous amount of effort. Even though they may be kind of hard for some of you, they are really great because it facilitates kind of like waking up your arm. And I'm going to focus on the shoulder today for these exercises. So I'm going to start from a flat bed position. So those of you who have like a hospital bed or even a manual bed that can adjust, like a, what do you call it, like a sleep number these days, they can also adjust too, right? So try and flatten out your bed, because that'll be kind of make it a universal starting position for all of you to follow along. Also because if you start from a more inclined position, it will be a little bit more difficult for you guys to follow along, as this is a beginner level exercise. But of course, if you want to make it a little bit harder, then you're welcome to kind of incline your bed, maybe come up into a partial sit if you like. So the first basic exercise we're going to do is called shoulder shrugs. So we're going to start with that. And your arms can be down by your side, and what you're trying to do is make it so that your shoulders are shrugged basically at the same time and the same amount. So I'm going to go up, down, 2, 3, 4, 5, remember to breathe, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And for those of you who have any pain while you're doing this exercise, just stop until you feel pain and don't go past any further. But a little bit of soreness is okay. And for those of you who think you do not get much movement or you're not so sure, now we can isolate it to our stroke side. So I'm going to do isolated movement of my right shoulder, and I'm going to feel for that so that I know how far I'm going and if I'm not getting any movement at all, or just some kind of feedback as to how we're doing, because most likely you don't have a mirror to see how you're doing in your performance. So I'm just putting a hand over my shoulder and doing the same thing, just got a gentle touch. We're not adding any resistance. Let's go as far down towards our feet and as far up towards our headboard as we can. And we'll do 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember to breathe. Don't hold your breath. 8, 9, and 10. And one common question I get is, well, what if I'm doing these exercises and I don't feel any movement, or my arm just basically doesn't move? Well, try your best. And this is really part of the recovery in a stroke and getting our arm to wake up, so to speak. So even the process of putting in the effort and training our brain and just basically being intentional with it is part of that rehab process. And because this is the internet and you guys are watching, and you could be anywhere from no movement at all to just having full movement and you just want to do some exercises in bed, whole spectrum of ability, you can still follow along. And what's cool is that studies even show that when we imagine or conceptualize or do things even in our head, even if we have no physical movement, it helps to do the recovery part in making our arm move and be more functional. So that's really, really cool. Now we're going to add to this exercise in our shoulder shrugs. And in addition to when we come up like towards our ears, we're going to try and reach for our ear. And once we can go no longer any further higher up than that, we're going to push down into our bed and then come down. So it'll be kind of like an up, back, down motion. 1, back, down. 2, back, down. 3, up, back, down. And you'll notice my chest actually raised off the bed. Lost count here before, I think. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Really go for the ear this time. Back. Hold it. Breathe. Out and down. And the reason we're doing this exercise is because a lot of times after our stroke, our arm tends to be in kind of like this locked up position that's tight against us, or it could be real floppy. Either way, the arm is just real close to our body, and we don't really get an opportunity to do the movements that we have before, which is like reaching up and out in front of us, out to the side, and even like high up and behind us. Sometimes some of you may be able to bring your arm up by itself without any help. If you're unable to do that, feel free to support it. So what you can do is you can bring your elbow up like so. So I'll do it the most easiest way so that everyone can follow along. And it'll basically look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's hold this one a little bit. 4, 3, 2, 1, and back down. Nice work. So that was going up towards the ceiling. And the other one I mentioned was out to the side, so let's go ahead and do that. Thing is, it's kind of hard to bring our arm out to the side and reach across from us, and it kind of puts a lot of strain on our other non-affected shoulder. So what we're going to do is now kind of what I call a modified rock the baby. So we're going to start with our arm up to the ceiling, and then we're going to just rock it side to side. And this kind of mimics the motion of bringing our hand out like that to our side. Okay, here we go. To demonstrate, it's basically up, and right elbow goes towards the right side and back over. And try and aim for your kind of like your elbow to go about to the midpoint of your body. Okay, here we go. And I'm going to hold a modified version so that I can assist my arm if it doesn't move as well. Here we go. We're going to bring our arm up and then side to side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's more important that you hold your arm out and go as far out to the right side or towards your stroke side as possible. Let's call that 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We're going to hold it all the way to the right side as long as a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I don't know about you, but that feels actually pretty good. Back to the center and back down. Now we're going to end with one of my favorite stretches, and that's to open up like our armpit area, our shoulder in front of our chest, because a lot of times after stroke, we don't get the opportunity to open up our hand and our shoulder like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring our arm into that open stretch position, and then we're going to turn our body away from it to kind of exaggerate that stretch angle. So to start, just grab your wrist, bring it up towards basically your neck area. And then we're gonna open our hand towards to our side. So bring it out to your right, kind of aiming for your shoulder. And then you can even just slowly let it drop. And then from here, I want you guys to bring your elbow higher. So kind of like that, so that it's about in line with your shoulder, like closer to your shoulder and not below your shoulder. And if you want to be more comfortable with it, you can bring your wrist a little bit out, maybe even flatten it like this. Okay, and then from here, what we're going to do is turn away from our stroke side. So if my right side is my stroke side, I'm going to turn towards my left. And if you have something to grab onto, like a bed rail, you can grab onto that. Otherwise, I'm going to, for example, grab on the edge of my bed and just kind of twist my body. And to make this easier too, you guys can also scoop up and bend your knees. It's kind of like, you can even grab your pants. And then you can even scoop it up with your other leg. And this makes turning a little bit easier. So I'm going to turn. Open up that arm. And we'll try and hold it there for about a minute. Remember to breathe. And when you breathe, try and breathe really long and deep for both inhale and exhalation. Okay, now we're to come back to center. You can use your elbow to push and just trying your best to turn back onto your back. And then from here, we can lower our leg back by assisting it with the other leg. And now we can bring our arm back to our side for a more comfortable position. So we can grab towards our wrist, slowly slide our elbow back down to our side. Maybe we can grab our hand, bring it back over. And then here we go. If you're comfortable in this position, you can leave it right here. Another good thing you can do is which I encourage you all to do, is kind of put an elbow under your right hand. And you can have a helper help you if you have one. Otherwise, if you have a pillow nearby, you can put it right below your right elbow and have your arm out kind of in this stretch position. So as you can see, we can definitely do a lot of exercises in bed to help keep our body moving. That includes for our shoulders and our arms. And if you may not be getting too much movement, that's okay. This is part of the rehabilitation process. And some days you'll have really good days. Some days you'll really have really bad days or not much. You may even be doing worse than the day before, but that is really part of the rehab progress. And definitely don't be discouraged if you're not getting like better and better every day. The key is to keep at it and repetition. Repeat, 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 and practice, practice, practice. Thank you for watching and following along with me. Drink lots of water, get lots of rest, and have a nice day.